Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Last night I was watching Phoebe Dynevor's Vogue Get Ready With Me video, and I don't know, something about it I really loved and was very inspired to recreate it here on my channel today. We're gonna go through a full skincare and makeup routine and just copy everything that Phoebe did in her video. I have a lot of the same products when it comes to the makeup side of things, so I think it'll be really fun. It's a very natural, fresh makeup look, and she does her makeup very different from how I do my makeup, so I thought this video would be fun. If you guys like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna have links to all the products that I use in the description box down below. Let's get started with the video. So for anybody who might not know, Phoebe Dynevor plays the main character on Bridgerton. Did you guys watch Bridgerton? I feel like everyone did. Wasn't it like the most watched show on Netflix ever? I watched it and I get why people like it. Like, it's a little smutty and like nothing against that, obviously, but I just thought it was okay. It was fun to watch. Okay, so I have her video right here. I'm just gonna watch it and we're gonna follow along. So she says she doesn't wash her face in the morning. I've already done that in the shower. I have to wash my face, especially if I'm gonna be putting on skincare. So I've already screwed this up. However, we're gonna go ahead and just do a quick skincare routine. She has quite a few steps in her morning skincare routine. She uses all Sunday Riley skincare, which I only have one thing from Sunday Riley, the UFO oil, and I can't use this right now because of my perioral dermatitis on my face. So we're gonna just try and replicate what she does with other products. So she starts off with a vitamin C brightening serum. I don't have a vitamin C serum, but I do have the Wishful Thirst Trap Juice serum, which I'm actually almost out of. I'm hoping I could get something out of it for this video. There we go. I've always been curious about a vitamin C serum, but I'm so drawn to hydrating serums that I've never given one a go. I do know people love that CEO vitamin C range from Sunday Riley, so maybe I'll replace this with that serum. We'll see. Oh my gosh, my skin drank that up in 2 seconds. It's so dry. Next, she goes in with eye cream, which is different. I usually do my eye cream last, so I'll just go ahead and pop some of that on. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Eye Rescue. Then she goes in with her moisturizer. I'm using Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream today. And I'm putting on a ton of it because my skin feels so dry. She makes sure to bring her moisturizer down onto her neck. Then she goes in with a face oil, which I used to do underneath my makeup all the time and I haven't done for years. I'm using the Ordinary 100% rosehip oil for this. I'm just gonna take a few drops because next we're gonna put on some sunscreen, and my sunscreen is quite oily as well, so I don't wanna overdo it on the oils. And then last but not least, she goes in with her sunscreen. I have a pretty good amount of mine on my hands here. I'm using my Shiseido sunscreen. I will confess to you guys that I only use sunscreen in the summer. If I wear too much sunscreen, it can break out my skin, so I always kind of take the winter off sunscreen. We really don't get very much sun here, and I don't go outside very often in the winter, so I give myself that. I'd rather have the clear skin. Ooh, my skin feels amazing after all of that. I do my skincare every morning, obviously, but I usually like to do a full-on like multi-step routine at night. So normally in the mornings, I'll just do like serum and moisturizer and then move on. So my skin is feeling and looking really fresh. I'm sure makeup is gonna go on so well over top. So speaking of makeup, let's get into the makeup. She starts with the new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation, and she applies it with her fingers. So she says she doesn't usually use foundation, only for special occasions, which I guess filming for Vogue is a special occasion. And she barely uses any foundation. So she just does like 4 little dots here, 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 and here. And then she rubs that all in with her fingers. I actually haven't tried applying this foundation with my fingers yet, so when I saw her do that, that was the first thing that made me think, okay, I actually want to film this in a video because I want to see how that looks. So yeah, that looks really nice. It didn't do much in terms of covering, but I'd say it did even out my skin a little bit. My glow is still there. Everything looks really fresh and moisturized. I actually really like the way that looks with just that small little bit put on with the fingers. So let's move on. Next, she goes in with concealer. So she uses the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I don't have that, so I'm gonna use Hourglass. So she also applies her concealer with her fingers. So I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger and just dab underneath my eyes. She also puts a little bit around the sides of her nose, on her chin, and here on the sides of her mouth as well. Then she jokes that she does use a brush for this part, although she mostly uses her fingers for everything else. And she actually uses the Hollywood complexion brush to blend everything out. Whenever I do blending under the eyes with this brush, I always use the small side of the brush, but she uses the big side, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, I feel like adding that concealer made a huge difference for me. I'm feeling much more pulled together, just having concealed those few areas that needed that little bit of extra coverage. And I still think my face looks so natural. Like, it does not look like I'm wearing makeup whatsoever, but my skin is like really nice and even. Sorry, I'm stepping away. When I come closer, I get shadows. She doesn't set it with powder, so we'll see how it lasts, but it looks good for now. So next, she goes in with the brow pencil. So she uses the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Cheat, which I pulled out of my kit for the purpose of this video. So the first thing she does is brushes up her brows, which of course is what you should always do. And then she says that she fills in her brows just along the bottom. I need to do it in the mirror. So she just fills in along the bottom. And then she does do a few little flicks at the front here and then brushes it through. She likes her brows to be straight. I really love the look of a straight brow, but whenever I get my brows done, they always give me arched brows, so I feel like I'm meant to have an arched brow. And then she uses brow soap to stick them up, so I'm just gonna go ahead with the ABH brow trees and use that instead. Okay, I'm really happy with how this is going so far. I feel like I look very nice. Let's keep going. So she's moving on to eyeshadow. She calls it eye contouring. And she's using a little neutral Charlotte Tilbury palette that I don't have. So I'm gonna use this one, the Charlotte Tilbury Icons palette. It has a lot of the same colors that she's using. So she's just taking a really light brown on a fluffy brush and washing that all over her lid. So I'm gonna take this color right here and do the same. Ooh, I think this is a bit darker than the color that she chose, but that's okay. So this next part is so funny. It makes me laugh. It makes me think of like a little kid doing their makeup. She takes a little angled brush and she wets it. She says that she normally licks it, but for the purpose of Vogue, she just runs it under the top. That made me laugh. And then she dips it into a black eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna take the black from this same palette. And she does a little wing on the outer corner of her eye, but that's all she does. She doesn't line her lash line really at all. So I'm gonna do the same. To me, that just looks incomplete, especially when you do it with a black. But everything else looks good so far, so let's just hold true and see how everything looks at the end. Next, she curls her lashes, so let me do that. And then she goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes Mascara. So I have a brand new one here that I've actually been meaning to open, so I thought this was the perfect time. This was my favorite mascara ever. I haven't used it in years, but I just love the wand. Love how it tapers. I love the natural short bristles. So let's go right in with that. Okay, so I've got that on. I feel like the eyeliner definitely looks a lot better now that I have mascara on too. And I think she only puts it on the top from what I can see. I can't really see. It doesn't look like she puts it on the bottom to me, so I've just got it on the top. So next up, we're going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. So she just does 2 little dots here, 2 little dots here, 2 little dots here, 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 and here. And I'd say that's pretty good, especially if you're doing a very natural makeup look like this. You don't want to have too much of this cream contour because it's just going to make everything kind of muddy up, especially with having no powder on the face. Like, you just really want to be minimal with how much of this you're using with this type of look. So she goes in with a brush to blend that out, so I'm gonna do the same. Beautiful, just a little bit of dimension, love it. Then she uses a Charlotte Tilbury product that I don't have. It's like a cheek and lip tint. The color that I have that I feel like is the closest to that is this guy from Milk, so this is in the color Work. So this is also a lip and cheek tint, and she just takes a little bit on her finger and taps it right onto her cheeks. Okay, so she moves on to lips, and she doesn't say what color of lip liner she uses, but in the description box it says that she uses Pillow Talk, again from Charlotte Tilbury. If you guys don't know, Phoebe is sponsored by Charlotte Tilbury, so that's why she's using so much Charlotte in this video. I'm assuming she's also sponsored by Sunday Riley, which is why she used all Sunday Riley skincare, but they're obviously both amazing brands, which is why she would agree to work with them. But that's why there's so much Charlotte Tilbury in this video. So anyways, like I was saying, in the description box it says she uses Pillow Talk, but when she puts it on her lips, it looks darker to me, so I actually think she's using Super Size Me. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Super Size Me, even though it says she's using Pillow Talk, just because that's the one it looks like to me. So she just lines her lips. And then she kind of blends it out with her finger, and then she puts on Lip Chop. So I don't have the brand that she's using, but it sounds like it's a really good company that she's promoting for this lip balm brand, but I don't have it, so I'm just using this one that I got at Whole Foods. So she has a little freckle on her lip that she colors in. I kind of have one too, so I thought, you know what, let me just go ahead and color mine in as well. You guys see it right here. She just takes her brow pencil and goes over top of it. I hate that. I don't know. It's like the smallest little thing on my face, but having it there, I feel like I hate it. Anyways, we're gonna leave it. It's okay. And then she says for a finishing touch, she goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury Spotlight Highlighter. All cream products for this look. I can already feel my face just being like, where's the powder on your nose? My nose always needs powder. Okay, anyways, she takes this and she runs it along the tops of her cheekbones, tip of her nose. She puts some on her Cupid's bow. And then she also adds a little bit just right here under her brows, which I think is cute. And then she blends that all in with her brush. And she says she uses the same brush for her highlighter and her concealer, so that the next time she goes in to apply her concealer, a little bit of the highlighter is on her brush, and so she gets a little bit of that extra glow when she's putting her concealer on the next day. So she takes down her hair and runs through it with a very fancy brush. I'm just gonna use my fingers. I'm so annoyed with these pieces of my hair. I literally curled them with a curling iron this morning so that they would flip like backwards, like away from my face, but they just so desperately want to come down like this and hug my face. I don't know how to get them to not do that. So what I always just end up doing now is tucking them because they mostly fit behind my ears now. Okay guys, so that is the finished look, me recreating Phoebe Dynevor Vogue Get Ready With Me. I love it. I Feels so fresh and pulled together, but very still natural. Like, it's kind of funny because for her, this is like her most done up, like going out makeup, and for me this is one of the most natural makeup looks that I would do on myself. But I really love it. Like, I feel like it just looks really like pulled together and grown up, and yeah, I'm very happy with the way that it looks. The one thing that I would change, and that I am going to do before I continue on with the rest of my day, is just take a little bit of powder and put it on my nose, just because my nose gets so sweaty. But besides that, I'll leave it and see how it wears. I feel like because there's hardly any concealer and hardly any foundation on, if it starts to kind of like fade or move around because there's no powder, it's not really gonna matter because there's just barely any product on my face anyways. So yeah, I don't know, I think it looks great. I love how glowy it is from doing all that prep work with the skincare. And yeah, that was really fun. If you guys liked this video, let me know. I can film more like it. There's so many of these Vogue series videos on YouTube, so I could definitely do one of these again. If you enjoyed it, leave me a comment down below, give the video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.